What is up, guys? We are back. I'm George Mossey. Make sure you're following me on all social media platforms at George Mossey and at georgemossey.com for all your 90 Day Fiance news, interviews, and updates. And I'm here with my special co-host, Cherona. Make sure you're following her as well on Instagram and TikTok. The links are right here at the bottom. So we were in a pretty deep conversation about this Josh Seiter guy, right? And we
Mhm.
know that he had done some same-sex work on his OnlyFans, which we think it's cool. I actually think it's interesting. I think that if you make money on OnlyFans, I don't think that there's anything wrong or shamed with it. But we did see a story about a blogger who was like exposing that information and telling people and using it as like something negative. And we don't know that Karine didn't know about what was going on with his past and what he was doing with OnlyFans, because we know that Paul and Karine were also on OnlyFans. Did you know that Paul and Karine were also on OnlyFans?
I actually did see that, and I was not shocked because I feel like Paul will do anything for attention.
So, were you surprised that Paul was doing things with Karine's cousin on the
Ugh.
OnlyFans?
Yes, that was
Me too.
weird. That's very weird. I did
So
not see
yeah, I was a little shocked. Like there were videos with like Paul, Karine, and the cousin, and then there were videos with just Paul and Karine, and then there's just videos with like Paul and her cousin. And I was kind of shocked because, but like you said, Paul wasn't working when he was on the show, and I remember that he was having like a hard time getting employment. So I was like, this might just be like a way for him to make money, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think that Paul and Karine have been in the news a lot, and I think
it.
in May or June there was the story when one of their sons, Pierre, was like reported missing or
Yes,
something. Do you remember that? And one of the kids was taken into like CPS custody, and then Paul eventually gave the son to his mom, and his mom turned over the son. And unfortunately, they had lost both their kids. But I did see that Karine had launched a GoFundMe in order to raise money to get lawyers so they could get her kids back. And I'm super happy to see that because I can't imagine what it's like to know that your babies are out there with someone else. So I'm really hoping that people are giving and helping as much as they can, because I think Paul is still in Brazil, but
mm,
Karine is in Kentucky still, and she's working hard. And over the holidays, I saw her post a picture with the kids, and she looked so happy. So I'm really hoping for the best because I feel like out of all of the drama and craziness, that's what's really important. Like we're talking about all the craziness about their relationship, but what's important are those babies, and I want those babies
mhm,
back with their mom. Not that the foster mother or adopted mother isn't, taking good care of them, but that void that Karine is gonna have, it's
mm,
not gonna be filled until she gets those kids back.
it's true.
All right, so I want to talk about this Molly and Cynthia thing. So, did you hear about the fact that Molly and Cynthia are no longer friends? So, this kind of shocked me because I did an interview with Molly like a day or two before the story broke. And I was interviewing her, and she was at the Livy Ray shop, and we were recording, and we were getting ready to record, and she said, Cynthia's recording her part. They were recording for something. I can't say what it was, but they were
Mm,
recording for something, and Cynthia was in the building. So when we
mm,
started recording, Cynthia had already left, but there was absolutely no indication when we did this interview that there was any issue. We talked about Cynthia in the interview. The interview is on my YouTube page if anyone's wondering about that. But I'm just really shocked because they had been friends so long, like out of college. They started
mhm,
Livy Ray together. She actually went over the entire story of how Livy Ray started with Cynthia and how the whole company came about. And this was something that they did jointly. And now there's a rumor on Instagram that Kelly and Molly may not be together. This is alleged. I can't prove anything, but there have been stories online where people have been saying that they aren't together anymore. Molly has not spoken out about this, and neither has Kelly. So I can't say that this is true or false, but we have noticed that there's quite there's quite fewer posts of Molly and Kelly. Like they're
mhm.
like over the holidays, I didn't see any posts of them together, which I would find very strange because Kelly moved from New York City to Georgia to be with her. So why wouldn't they spend Christmas together?
You know what? That's really interesting that you say that. Like, I totally didn't even. I did see the rumor, and I did see like all of her posts, but I was kind of like, I guess I wasn't paying attention to that. Like, because I was so focused and so heartbroken that her and Cynthia weren't friends anymore.
Me too.
Like, I just want to get to the bottom of that. Like, what the heck could have happened? Like, like whenever I would see them on TV, I'm like, that's just like me and my best friend. Like that's me and my best friend. Like we're gonna be friends forever. Like look at these ladies. Like they have a business together. They're best friends. Like that's us. So it's for me to see them like just like and put out like their public statements about how they're not friends anymore. I was like, what the heck could have even happened to make some like them stop being friends? That's crazy. That blew my mind more than probably anything else has happened in a
Yeah.
long time on 90 Day.
It did for me too. I was going through like scenarios in my head of what could possibly be something that could tear their friendship apart because they run a business together. And
Mm-hmm.
okay, so I was on a Livy Ray live as I was just wanting to see what was going on, and Molly was talking about, like, this was a week before Christmas, the hours for the store, and she started going through everyone's schedules on the live, and she's like, Olivia will be here at this time, I'll be here at this time, and she named off the manager's schedule. Everyone's name was mentioned except Cynthia's, and that caught me, and I was like, so wait, Cynthia's not working, because they were usually in the shop together almost every
Yep.
day. So I was like, there's a whole week that's going by and Cynthia's not going to be there. So that means possibly she's like not in the business. I mean, you can be a silent partner like in a
Exactly.
business, but Cynthia's never been a silent partner. They've always been together. And I was
Mhm.
just going through like all these scenarios, like what could have possibly taken place that they couldn't be friends. And now that it's possible that Kelly isn't with Molly anymore, I have no guesses anymore. I'm just completely dumbfounded at the entire situation because both of those relationships, in my opinion, I'm a huge fan of the show. Obviously, I have no life. I thought that those relationships were super strong, and now
Yeah.
it just kind of makes me question everything now. Like,
I
if
know.
somebody would have told me that a big couple in the 90 Day universe was gonna break up, like Ginny and Samir or Jovi and Yor, I would have
Mhm.
laughed. But that's how
Yeah.
I feel with Molly and Cynthia. It's just unfathomable, and I'm just waiting for them to come on a live together and say they figured it out, right? Or just say April Fools. Like I'm waiting for something to happen.
I'm hoping. Yeah, I think that that's like the biggest bombshell that we've seen like in a really long time. I mean, I don't know, cause like, when I started thinking about, like, the friendship breakup, I mean, that's more painful than breaking up with, like, a partner a lot of the times, cause those people are, like, they were, like, thick as thieves, like, they were that's crazy. I was thinking maybe Kelly got into the middle of their friendship and something happened. I mean, he seems so nice, so it was kind of, like, hard, but, like, I feel like that's, like, the first, like, place your brain goes. It's like, was it because of a guy? Like, she wasn't getting enough attention as her friend? I mean, because she stopped being on Pillow Talk with her because Kelly took her place.
Yep,
So I
that's
was
true.
like, is that why she's upset? Is that what started, like, this, like, animosity? But
Well,
then
she commented on something, I can't remember whose post it was, and said that it didn't involve Kelly. Because a
okay.
lot of people were like, did it have to do with the fact that, like you said, you were
Mhm.
replaced on Pillow Talk? And she was like, no. She's like, it
Okay.
didn't involve Kelly or whatever. And Olivia had commented on something, but then she deleted it. But it said
Mm,
something along the lines of it didn't involve Kelly.
okay, good.
So either it didn't involve Kelly or they don't want us to think it involved Kelly. It's one of those. So
Yeah,
I'm just hoping that we can get this taken care of and fixed because first of all, Molly and Cynthia are like OG favorites of the
Mhm.
90 Day universe. And that they didn't even start in 90 Day. They had that show Double Divas on Lifetime, and that's where they got these huge followings. And I'm just hoping that we can fix it. So speaking of huge followings, one more thing I want to talk about before we wrap this up. Darcey and Stacey are coming back. Where do you stand with
No way!
January 23rd, the new season of Darcey and Stacey? They're back in Miami.
Oh my
I'm
god.
obsessed with the Silva twins. I don't know how you feel. I don't know where you stand. I know people are mixed with the Silva twins, but I'm obsessed. Are you excited for them to come back?
Honestly, I love them. I think they are a great time and like if they're watching Darcey and Stacey, I want to party with you guys cuz you guys are freaking hot. Like they're so funny. Like I can't believe I didn't know that they were coming back. Like where have I been all week? I don't know. Christmas like took me somewhere else. But that's so exciting cuz I do think that they're so much fun. There's definitely I mean the plastic surgery, maybe they need to like chill a little bit, but I mean they're doing their thing. If it makes them happy, if it makes them happy, whatever makes them happy. I just hope that like are we seeing like Georgie again? Like is he coming back?
Well, right. Like, remember last
He,
season they broke up on the
yeah.
tell-all, and then Georgie was right there on episode 1 of the new season. So is
Yeah.
that gonna be the recurring theme? Because we know
Um,
Florian and Stacey are going
mm,
very strong, doing
yes.
very
So,
well. And oh, actually, I'm just obsessed with them. They didn't actually play a trailer for the show yet. I just follow them,
oh,
and
okay. I was like,
Darcey
where was
Darcey
it?
finally posted, and I was like, what? It's back in Miami again.
Oh,
The
nice.
twins took Miami last time, and I thought it was so much fun. And I'm hoping that we see a little more of their business. We saw a lot of their business last season, House of 11, and they did their first fashion week in Miami for their swimwear, which was really cool. And I'm just
Yeah.
obsessed. I think that, and I don't want to pick a favorite twin, but like Darcey is hilarious. And I don't even feel like Darcey tries to be hilarious. Like she'll just
Yeah.
try to have a conversation with you or have a conversation with someone. And it's just the funniest thing I've ever
Yeah.
seen. And she's just so much fun. And Stacey is fun too, but like, oh my God, I'm obsessed with Darcey. Like she is just, I feel like she's the female version of me. She's just
Oh,
hilarious, and she's
love
that's
that.
whatever pops into her head, she just
Yeah.
says it. So that's what I'm just obsessed. So their show is coming back. I'm really excited, and I heard Aniko and Aspen. Everyone's gonna be on the show again. Hopefully, their dad too. I know he was
Oh,
not really
yeah.
happy last season with the
Mhm.
marriage, but I do know a little spoiler. Turn it off if you don't want to know the actual wedding for Florian and Stacey, because remember they got married in that
Mhm.
little tiny apartment because
Oh,
it was
yeah.
COVID. The
COVID.
big wedding is happening this season.
Oh my God, I'm
Yeah.
so excited. I cannot wait. And I love Darcey's daughters. They are so cute. Like, I'm excited to see more of them too. They're so adorable.
Yeah, I feel like they're starting their modeling careers, and I feel like
Mhm.
we're gonna see them go and be in magazines and do all these big
Yeah.
things. And I'm just super excited. And maybe Darcey and Stacey will bless us with another song. They haven't released a song. Do you remember they did perform doing it big last season for
Yes.
the fashion week? And I want to see if they're gonna give us a new song. It's been a minute, Darcey and
It
Stacey. We want to
has.
know if you're going to give us any new music. What do you have up your sleeve? I'm going to be tuning in. I'm going to be doing a Darcey and Stacey recap podcast. Actually, I did one last season. I dissect the episodes, and I just obsess over everything that they're doing because I have no life. So I'm going to be doing that as well.
I will be right there watching it with you because I love them. They're seriously a blast.
All right, guys, that's it. We are out of time again. Again, I am George Mossey. Make sure you follow me on all social media platforms at George Mossey, anywhere you get your podcast, and at georgemossey.com on my website for all your 90 Day Fiance news, interviews, and updates. Thank you so much to my co-host Cherona, who has joined me for this podcast, and hopefully she will join me again in the future for
Yeah.
any of the other 90 Day Fiance talk that I have, which is endless.
Yes.
All right, guys, I will talk to all of you guys really soon. Oh, and her links are right here at the bottom. Don't forget to follow her on Instagram and TikTok. Talk to you guys really soon.